Thank you. So yeah, we had this first theme of today's symposium, which has been more introvert, so to say. It is we ourselves that talk about what we have been doing in the past, and now we have come to what we are going to maybe see in the future, as much showed in the last slide. I call it visions and wishes because you don't really know what's going to happen, and it doesn't only depend on us here, of course. It's the world around us that very much make what is possible or not. So I start out just to see 10 years from now. It seems a long period, but if you look backward 10 years, it doesn't seem like a very long time. And maybe not so much has been done if you just think about some things, and other things has been done jumping forward. So you never know what's going to happen. But I just try to put up a kind of scenario here in bullets. And I hope and I think that we have come forward with the 2020 goals and passed it on the way to the goals for 2030 and 2050. And that will also then be that we have less fossil fuels in the systems. How much? I don't know at the moment. Possibly as little as possible. Reaching no fossil fuel 2050. More resource efficient energy systems, more energy end use savings is a very big part of that. We have what we call the nearly zero energy buildings. That is a kind of code that we have here in Europe and stands for something that is in progress. More renewable energy, of course, and more solar, as from our perspective. And we think that's especially PV and maybe less of solar thermal. Solar thermal was actually the starting point for our case, but it seems like PV is taking over. Energy research, yeah. Where are we 2024? We think that we maybe is a kind of moderate size research group, which is quite feasible to be around 30 persons. We have kind of a center here that I have called here just in English Energy and Construction Engineering CC as a continuation of what Mats presented here, the EMC, which is called Energy and Environmental Competence Center. So that is what we hope that we actually have, a more stable continuation of what we can cooperate with companies in the local and also nationally, and all kinds of research and development. We also want to, as has been presented here by Chris and the students here, and that we have a lot of ongoing EU projects, and we will go on with that, and hopefully, because that's really a key thing to be in the international research arena with others to do research. So we also, of course, have national corporations and other corporations, but I think this is very important. Also, what I think that we could maybe have reached at that time is a kind of what we call research profile. It's something that is launched by one of the foundations in Sweden, the Knowledge Foundation, that a university, a small university, can apply for what's called research profile. And maybe we are mature enough and have such kind of profile. And that is something that then is funded from the foundation for quite part over time. So where are we? More of it is that we think that we could be a national leading group in PV systems. Then with the emphasis on systems, because it's a lot of material research and PV module research at other universities in Sweden that is really on the front line internationally. But we have the kind of system applications here. Internationally leading in near energy buildings, and especially in wood construction, and for the climate zones we have here. That's something that we hope we will develop. And we also have a group of social scientists that we think that has a more critical mass than we have it today, that has also studying the process for energy and transformation. So today, yes, where we are today that we are about 30 researchers. So the thing is not really to grow as a research grow, it's more to mature and to have a balance between senior, junior and PhD students in the group. We have what we have said before, we have a research profile here internally that Dalarna University has, so to say, selected as one of the 6 that they want to support. We have just accomplished the first center, what Energy and Environmental Competence Center, and we want to apply for a second phase. And we have, as mentioned before, the PhD graduate school, RISP, which is a really good base for continuation of PhD education. And as you saw from the last point, a lot of ongoing projects. We have the facilities that also was mentioned. PV system, test facilities, solar collector testing, test cube in massive wood that is very airtight and standing outside Högskolan to do air tightness testing and humidity tests and everything that you can do. It's a little house actually, so you can actually, having meetings inside, use it. We have a climate chamber on the way in for test of building materials and components. So we have invested in infrastructure during the last years. So that's about the research. About the education, yes, what do we think can happen there? We think that we should have reached PhD examination, so we can have our own students here and examine them. We cannot do that today, so we have to hand them out on other universities, but they are doing the work here. But that we have the full control over it, and about 15 students in that. We have master programs, 2, hopefully, at about maybe 80, 100 students. We have a 3-year engineering program, about 60 students, and 2-year technician program that could have 50 students and can be a recruitment base for going to higher education. Because it's not so easy in a small town like Borlänge and Falun to really recruit students to have a longer education. But to start with a 2-year more practical education could be a start where you discover that you actually like to study further and maybe go the whole way up to PhD student. What are we today then? Yes, we have nearly 15 PhD students, and you saw them, some of them coming up here on the stage. But as we said, they are not our own fully because they are admitted to other universities. We have a master program, and it's a 1-year and a 2-year, 50 students. We have a 3-year engineering program, but so far only about 10 students. We run it in cooperation with other specializations in mechanical engineering, and so we are a part of it. A 2-year technician program still we have, and hopefully, as I said, we would like to still have it as a recruitment base. So at the moment we have about 150 students in courses and programs in a full year, so that's quite a lot. So that's something also that has grown during these years. So I just want to take up something here about names and so on. We are celebrating SERC today, and SERC exists. I mean, we are 100 persons here today that actually belong to SERC or have a relation to SERC in one way or another. But it is today, it wasn't so in the former time, but today it's more what we call it's virtual. It's a brand for our work with solar energy. It's so it manifests that we have a competence in solar energy research. And we also today announce it as a thematic research area on our web pages. So it's still there. But if we look at the organization and where we belong to, we have a kind of a little more boring way of expressing where we belong to. We are, the subject is energy technology, and that's actually something that is new, that we only call us energy technology. Until September this year, we called us energy and environmental technology, but we have taken away the environmental in the name, because what we are actually focusing on is energy technology. We have a division we belong to, Energy, Forest and Construction, and we is in the School of Technology and Business Studies. But still, SERC is what many of us, so to say, belong to by heart. But we have to live with both these. When we do applications and other more formal things, we have to belong to the organization, but when we are out with people in Europe or wherever, I mean, we are known as the SERC people. So we will go on like that, 10 years at least more. Thank you.